3, 2, 1. This is Radio Free Cybertron, episode 516. I am Brian Kilby. And with me this week, I have, as always, Diecast. How's it going, sir?
Excellent. It's going good.
Awesome.
I found some movie toys.
We'll get into that here in a minute with the return of a segment that we'll talk about. Matt's here.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. New microphone, and and I can already tell that you're good at eating the mic, so that's good.
We've done this live enough times. I'm used to it.
And somebody's opening the door.
Burner.
Somebody's opening the door behind you.
Yeah, that happens.
Chris is here.
Yeah.
And Don.
I'm here.
And Rob.
Hi.
And that John DeLuna.
Yo.
Man, so much stuff to talk about this week. So we're trying to mix things up a little bit. So we're brought back an old, literally a 17-year-old segment. I don't think we've done that segment, or I've done that segment. At that point, I guess Chris and John, you were on the show. Yeah. You guys started back in, was it 99 or 2000?
I was late 99. I think John was a little bit before that.
Okay, so...
I was right at the end of 99, I think.
So last week we brought back a segment, actually using the material from 1999 and 2002. I haven't written any new material for that, so... But it's an oldie and a goodie. So we're bringing back Bad Poets Corner, but this week we're also bringing back There Goes My Money, which is awesome. But we'll get to that in a second. Other things to plug. If you have a Roku, go to tfradio.net/Roku and click the add channel button that pops up, and you'll have us on your Roku. Well, you'll have our channel. You can watch us. It's pretty awesome. You can watch us right there on your TV. And if you do not already, if you are an iOS user, meaning you have an iPad or an iPhone or something, there's a button on the posting of this episode at tfradio.net/516 where you can just add us right to your Apple Podcasts app. You should have that already. You should add us, and you should listen to us each week because it's awesome. Yes. Who's playing with the toy? What toy is it?
Titan's Return to Chromedome. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Go ahead. Which version?
Standard release. I have not been able to find the one with the Takara head.
So Phil said that he would get me the one with the Takara head, and I haven't heard back from Phil since March. So Phil, if you're listening,
Phil's a busy guy. Hi,
yeah.
Phil.
So I love you, Phil.
Well, he's a philanthropist, so he's busy.
He's a philanthropist. Gosh. Okay, so Diecast, take it away with the return of There Goes My Money.
All right. This week on There Goes My Money, we're going to talk about what everyone got. So, who got something?
I did.
All right, go ahead.
So, it's not exactly a news thing, but I want to talk about it because I've been wanting one for 3 years. I got a Cloud Starscream.
Yay!
Oh,
Yay!
wow.
Or, I'm sorry, you pick one.
I mean, I'm happy with I got for $40 shipped.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And 2 of the 3 modes are good.
No, all 3 modes are good. I mean, the only real problem this toy has is the shoulders in robot mode, and that's just a materials flaw.
Yeah.
And, I kind of forgot over the years, there's actually no reason it has to be that way, because it's like that because they wanted the turret to rotate. The turret doesn't have to rotate for any transformation. They could have made all that, fixed in place, and it never would have had the problems it did, and everybody would have liked it better.
So, did you get it on eBay, or how did you get it?
I bought it from someone on Twitter.
Nice. I was
happy for the not eating.
I was happy that I got mine on clearance, but it still wasn't that cheap. I don't think.
Good. I'm glad to have the cheapest one in the group.
Yeah.
I also was able to find the Last Night toys, and I got a Barricade.
Nice.
I actually like it pretty well. The transformation is not especially intuitive at first. The arms especially don't seem like they should work the way they work. But once you actually get stuff in the right place, everything locks together really solidly for the vehicle mode. It is pretty well designed, and the blue color looks a lot nicer in person than in photos. In photos, it tends to come out looking like a little far to the black side, but almost faded a little bit. It's a much richer blue color in person, so it ended up looking really nice, and I like the accessories a lot too. The little pistol and the billy club, and even the weird ring of guns for the wrist. Like in car mode, I love the way they have that be a gun rack on the back of the window, on the back window. So I'm pretty happy with it, and it's not even that hollow looking underneath, just like the space back here. But otherwise, they use the space pretty well. So, pretty good. That's all I got this week, but nice stuff. I'm happy with it.
Anybody else got anything?
Okay.
I did. Okay, go ahead.
All right. I got the upscaled
Oh, wow, that's
Arcee,
awesome.
which
You should have had that a month ago, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Thanks, U.S. Customs. But
They're
here it
keeping
is
us
next
safe.
to Brainstorm, and you can see she's about Voyager size, I would say.
Like, how does it stack up to like a Masterpiece car?
She's maybe a head taller than a Masterpiece car, maybe the same size. Just trying to. I mean, here.
What about Masterpiece Hot Rod specifically?
Yeah.
I
Because that's
don't
what people are
know.
going to care about.
I could grab him, but
Well, that's usually
way to
Arcee's
go,
job,
Wai
but
Jing.
yeah.
Well, okay. So when somebody else is going with what they got, go grab your hot rods.
I
And we'll
can do
come
it.
back to that.
I can do it. I can go. So
Okay.
I got I got the crappiest stuff. So I went to Fairfield, Ohio this weekend, and went to Jungle Gyms, which is grocery store. I don't know if that one or the other one is the largest grocery store in the U.S., but it's the largest grocery store in the United States. It's ridiculous. And I went to the candy section, and I got Pez. I got G1 Bumblebee Pez, which I'm pretty sure that I've come across this one before. But the one that I don't like, Five Below or something. But the one I didn't remember seeing ever was this Robots in Disguise Grimlock, which I think is pretty awesome because I love Grimlock.
Nice.
And my goal for Red is to have every version of Grimlock that comes out, so it's got to be the Pez version. I posted that to Twitter this week, and somebody responded, "Hey, I actually not come across that one. I hope I can find it." Pez saw it, and then they responded and said, "If you want it, if you're interested, DM me your zip code, and I can tell you where you can get it." Wouldn't it be nice if other retailers or other manufacturers, companies would do that? That would be pretty sweet.
yeah.
Yeah.
Can't they just put that on their website?
They
If their
could.
customer service guy has it.
They could, but I think they're going that extra mile with that, building that engagement. I don't know.
Oh, really? Yes.
But Brian,
DM us instead of going to our website.
Yeah.
Everybody.
yeah, you went to Jungle Gyms, and
They
you
didn't have
bring back-
RC10. They did not have
They
any
didn't-
RC. They did not. I looked.
Oh God! Ah,
They had Sunkissed. They had
RC is
root beer.
determined not. I am being thwarted by RC on every possible front.
And Don, this was the one that you and I went to. So the year after, I went to the bigger one.
yeah.
But yeah, no, I specifically looked for you. They did not have it.
All right. Well, thank you for looking. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I was really surprised that they didn't have it. I did get, and crap, I left it in the other room. I did get all the cans of balls that I could ever want, though. So, in fact, actually, once we get done with this, I'm probably going to go grab it once I'm done with my Cheerwine. So, Diecast, you have your.
I have my
hot rod.
Rodimus, and here's RC. So she is just a tad shorter.
Oh, good.
That's a pretty good
Yeah, that-
scale, I'd say.
Yeah,
That works out well enough.
they actually look good together, which I didn't even.
What does Springer
realize.
think?
Springer.
Now you're going to have to get all 6 of those Springers to do height comparisons with that RC for science.
And I have none of those Springers so
That-
far.
For mad science, there's a difference.
I
Well,
also
I'd be pretty mad after buying that many Masterpiece Springers, definitely.
Yeah, I'd be really pissed off.
got Laserbeak, the Takara version, the only one that actually kind of looks like Laserbeak.
Yeah, the Deco one, that's a lot better than the Hasbro one.
Yeah.
But that's because they basically dipped the whole thing in paint.
And then I got all 4 deluxe movie toys at retail at midnight at a 24-hour Walmart because I was lucky enough to know someone who worked there, and they went out of their way to dig through the back to find them for me.
Cool.
And the only one I've opened and taken out of the box so far is Decepticon Berserker, and I did a review of him. I really like him. I think he's a really good figure.
Oh, nice.
It does look nice. I'm not really interested in the design to own it myself, but like between that and Barricade, the new molds seem like they're coming off pretty strong.
So that's not a retool of the other
Crankcase.
Crankcase, correct?
I'm glad you remember those.
It's a completely new mold.
Okay.
Nice.
But he looks really nice. I guess they did a really good job because the car is kind of boring, but it's a black Suburban. So yeah. But yeah, the robot mode's great.
Very nice.
So, anyone else get anything? John?
Nothing.
Okay.
No.
I'm good.
I did some pre-orders, but
Well,
does that count?
we'll talk about that in a second. That right,
Okay.
diecast?
Yes. So next on There Goes My Money, we have the things that are actually taking our money, or gonna be taking our money. The first order is Transformers Generations Deluxe Titans Return Wave 4 Set of 5, which is the Top Spin, Cup, Perceptor, Croc, and Quake.
And if you're watching the video, I have this pulled up from Big Bad Toy Store. I'm not intentionally hiding the Big Bad Toy Store logo. It's just the fact the way I have the browser cropped. So I'll fix that for next week.
Yeah, but their pages are kind of, obvious. So
Yeah.
Yes, they have a very well-defined visual style for their business, as a good business should.
And it's been the same way for 20 years.
Hey, go with what works.
Yeah.
You know?
So do you think this is the last wave that will be on blister cards?
No.
now,
No, I think Titan's Return will probably stick with the blister cards. I would not be surprised if we saw a move to boxes with Power of the Primes, but we won't know until probably the end of the year.
I kind of suspect myself they would not do that if there's still movie product current at that time. I think they'd want to keep a visual distinction between movie collector series and regular collector series.
Question for those of you that picked up the movie stuff. With the size and shape of the boxes, can they fit as many toys in a shipping case as they can with the carded stuff?
I don't see why not.
Because they can double up on the carded stuff. The
That's
way they stack
true. Yeah, there would be a box size change. The box that came out, it had one of each.
I don't
so it
think
only
they
had
do
8.
double them up.
They don't? Okay.
When I don't think they do. I've seen the shipping cases, and they're all sitting, just card and up in the case. So
That seems like a waste.
If you double them up that way, they become taller. So I think it's just based on the volumetrics of their shipping cases.
They used to double them up. I know that.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen cases opened and the deluxes were all sitting card end up, so it doesn't seem like they do it that way anymore. And these occupy basically the same silhouette as a blister card, so that they should be able to fit the same number into a case.
But actually, though, with them being a similar size to the black, as we talked in pre-show, the Black Series 6-inch and the Marvel Legends, they could just be using those boxes.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's really not going to. They're just making. They're dropping one case box and producing more of another. But if there's volume discounts by making more of that size box for these new figures, they could actually be saving even more money as far as packaging goes.
Well, the Transformers boxes are actually thicker than the Star Wars Black Series, but they are the exact same height.
Interesting. Okay.
How many Star Wars Black figures come to a case, though?
I think
Too many.
I think
I
it's,
have
think it's
4 to a case.
I think it's 6. I remember opening up a box looking for a Hoth Snow Trooper, and I think it's 6 to a case.
Yeah, see, that would be the problem with using the same size shipping cases anyway, because Transformers Deluxes always come 8 to a shipping carton.
Yeah. What else, Diecast?
And they still do.
And more deluxes. We have Transformers the Last Night Deluxe Wave 1 set of 4, which is the 4 you just saw from us. The Slash, the Bumblebee, which is is that just a straight rebox of that Bumblebee?
The deco is a little bit different, I believe. Actually, it might be retooled a little bit too. I was never 100% conclusive on that.
Yeah. And then, of course, Berserker, which is great, and Barricade, which Chris says is great.
Is Slash just repaint? I can't tell.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a less interesting redeco of an old toy.
He wasn't the best Dinobot either.
No.
Sadness. Anything else cool?
Yes. In third party, we have Maz Toys, MAAS.
I have no idea who that is.
And this is that we seen a Bumblebee similar to this by
Get Right Robot?
Get Right Robot. And that never actually came out, but this looks like it is going to be mass produced, and I hope this is a test shot because the yellows on this are all over the place.
I was going to say,
Yeah, I saw a post, I think, on Facebook where they did stress that that sample was very hand decorated, and the yellow colors will match a lot better on their production samples when they come back with like factory paint.
I was going to joke that this looks like a Bumblebee that transforms into Cosmos, but that's exactly what it is.
It's
Kind
more.
of.
It's cartoon more than meets the eye Bumblebee.
Yes, I know.
Yeah,
but it's I kind of
but
like
you know
this.
that could be important to specify for some of our audience.
Yeah, I like it. I actually really like this.
Unfortunately, the one pre-order I've seen, Diecast can correct me if there's other options, is just in a 2-pack with the Cliff Jumper with the Gold Bug redeco. Actually,
this one is actually listed. They're listing them separate at $39.99 a piece.
Oh, good.
Do we know like the scale for this?
No,
4.5 inches, I think.
So deluxe.
Small deluxe.
Yeah.
Probably say Scout is more appropriate.
I would consider this if it was painted better, and I'm certain it will be. Neat.
Well, it's nice to see that everybody and not just Hasbro has trouble painting yellow on black. Because
Yellow is the worst. Yellow is the worst color to paint over a darker color because you either have to apply it so thick it's gloppy and you lose the details, or it's so thin the undercolor bleeds through. Like that whole thing with the lead paint in the Thomas the Tank Engine toys a few years ago really ruined yellow paint for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, seeing this, the one thing that I took away from this, other than getting a more than meets the eye Bumblebee, is if it's a good toy and it's successful, I hope they would do a more than meets the eye Wheeljack.
That would
be interesting.
I almost thought it. I was actually thinking it was like a Cybertronian Bumblebee.
It is.
Yeah. Next up on There Goes My Money, we also have the KO Corner, the new addition to the There Goes My Money, and we have KO Masterpiece Soundwave. And this actually comes with all 6 tapes.
Yeah.
So
it says this is $61. So how much is that shipped?
Shipped, you're probably talking about $80, give or take.
It's not bad.
That's still not bad if the quality's there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially with all 6 tapes, that's
Especially with
pretty
Rat
good.
Bat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do we know who's actually is this like Yes Model or BB, or do we know who's actually producing it?
Yeah, who's the bootlegger?
Toy House Factory.
Never heard of them.
I don't. Apparently they're like third-party companies and they keep changing their names. So
If it was Weijing, I'd be like 100% behind this.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Didn't Weijing do a version of this, or aren't they working on one?
I don't know.
I think there's like 2 or 3 of these, and MP13 KOs coming out. So this is just one of them.
I know there was a big series of the cassettes, the Ravage, Rumble, Buzzsaw, and Frenzy that got KO'd closer to when these originally came out in Japan.
So my problem with KOs in general is, I mean, I have bought one. I like KOs that are crazy and weird, or that do something different. When it's just a straight up KO of a toy, I kind of shy away from that.
Yeah, well, it's easier to justify it when it's like upsized, downsized, wacky color or something like that.
Or if it's a KO of a third party toy, I don't care at that point.
Well, even in that case, though, I'm still more of the mind, like, I want upsized, downsized, fixed in some cases, you know?
Well, like with, is that what's next in the, like what Diecast is going to talk about next. I mean, I would be totally fine with this, especially considering the cost delta.
Yeah, the next item is the, it's basically a KO Masterpiece, or not Masterpiece, but KO Make Toys Cupola, which is their take on a Masterpiece Chromedome, and it's getting KO'd, and it's actually available now, and that's going to run you probably about $60, $65.
Right. Now, the one thing, the manufacturer of this is Yes Toys, the Yes Toys BB7, Yes Model BB7, who I've talked about before with the Masterpiece Thrust that they did. That I picked up not long ago. That is a very high quality KO. No leg jangle, solid. The nose cone fits down, looks great. So I'm not even waiting for a review on this. With it being Yes Model, I'm gonna take a chance because their Thrust is a really great figure.
I don't know if this is really necessary because it's. You wouldn't have to pay that much more to get a Make Toys one, and I think they're still available if you really want one.
About $120 to $130, and with eBay having a flash sale right now for $15 off $75 or more,
which is only good for our live audience because it ends tonight.
Right, but but I mean also the fact that
Dononomics.
I now have this guy, so a Chromedome to kind of match him would be nice.
I want Hardhead.
And if they do a copy of Iron Wheel for half the price, that would also be nice too. Because I really don't see the Function X line continuing at this point.
It should die.
I hope not.
I mean, I still like now the Highbrow. I had issues with their version of Highbrow, but I still enjoyed all the other Function X stuff. But I really don't think at this point they're going to. I'm hoping they still do a Minerva because I still think that would feel a niche to get a Minerva, but other than that, I don't see them doing the rest of the Headmaster.
There's exactly one Function X toy that matters.
Code?
No. If I can reach it, God. Oh.
It's the Prime.
Yes.
Positum.
Yeah. Which
Alligator Prime.
He is like a foot and a half out of reach. So
see, I say Code's the only one that matters because that's the one that really hit like the peak engineering quality of the line.
And that was the first one.
Yeah, I mean that's the one that sold everybody on the concept, but like it was just diminishing returns after that. That was kind of the problem, and that's just kind of fan project, unfortunately.
Well, that's the one that sold everybody on the line 5 years ago.
Yeah. And, but you still had good ones like Smart Robin, which turned out to be a really interesting engineering.
I forgot about Smart Robin.
Smart Robin's interesting engineering. The problem is like. It was not actually fun to transform. Yes. It was just interesting to transform.
I actually enjoyed it. I really liked that one. But Code and Smart Robin were the only two I really enjoyed.
No, like Smart Robin's the thing where you get the box in the mail, you open it, you transform it to vehicle mode for the first time, and you are just like in awe at how they have everything twisting and folding and sliding together to make this really different shape. But then you put it aside for a little bit, you come back to it later, and you try transforming it back, and it's like, oh no, this isn't actually that fun. That was just kind of a cool, like, first reveal. Oh.
Yeah.
And again, that's pretty much just the Function X line.
Cool.
Or not, as the case may be.
Yeah. Diecast, anything else?
No, that's all.
Okay, cool. So There Goes My Money will return next week as a regular part of RFC and as a standalone podcast and video. Sweet.
Sorry.
No, Don, you got something else, didn't you? That wasn't a Transformer.
Oh yes. Well, I'll go get that because it's over there by the door. But I did want to say that I did also pre-order Spartan from Mastermind Creations is back available at several retailers. And with Melvar and Chris talking about how wonderful it is, I decided to go ahead and get one because it does look pretty good. Even though I have no connection to Impactor, it's a nice looking figure.
Cool colors.
You didn't read
definitely.
Last Stand of the Wreckers?
I haven't read anything IDW.
The only IDW thing he read was Regeneration 1.
and the spotlight. I read up to All Hail Megatron. When they dropped the Sunstreaker Hunter Headmaster plot, I got PO'd and I stopped.
Oh
reading.
no, they resolved that plot in All Hail Megatron, Don.
Yeah, you should read it.
No, definitely
Liars.
Definitely read Last.
No,
we're not lying.
They honestly did wrap that plot line.
Will
up.
I like it though?
No.
Probably not. So therefore, I'm not.
No, you should read it. You should totally read it, Don.
No.
I also heard earlier Hasbro Toy Shop's eBay store. Oh, you can go get your thing, Don. I'm just filling time. Hasbro Toy Shop's eBay store has the Last Night stuff up, and they have like low threshold free shipping. So that's also a pretty decent option to get the stuff if your local store is not quite there yet.
Yeah, I didn't get it today, but I did order it off Walmart's website. Walmart was offering a discount on the Voyagers if you ordered both of them.
Okay.
So I only paid a little, I think like $26 each for the Voyagers, which
is actually what they're marked at in stores. But hey.
Yeah, but I couldn't find the Voyagers in any stores other than just the Grimlock at Toys R Us, which who
wants that?
Yeah, $30. Well, I do want the Grimlock. I've never had that.
You had
mold.
the last one? Oh, you don't have
No.
the Voyager from the last? Okay, well that makes sense for you then.
Yeah, and I kind of like these colors better than the last color. Some people say the lack of color, but I like it better than the last movie toys.
I mean, I may be weird. I just like color and visual interest in my toys.
Yeah, I just like that it's actually a little bit closer to the movie than the last one was.
Although, if you really want that, you should get the movie The Best Grimlock Takara did, which actually has like the oxidized copper green to it.
Yeah.
Which that's actually pretty cool looking, honestly.
And I bet it isn't cheap.
Oh, probably not. I mean, it's a Voyager in Japan. That's got to be like 5,000 yen.
Okay, Don, what did you get?
All right, from one of our viewers, Ryan, he's at Kojacker on Twitter.
Yep.
He was nice enough to get me a second Doctor Who coffee mug after after my first one kind of took a nosedive from the microwave at 3:00 in the morning. Hot coffee, microwave edge, burnt hands, floor.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Kojacker.
He also got me a travel mug for my traveling because traveling with a bowl of coffee is difficult. It's a ceramic Transformers, but if you can tell, it's Power Master Optimus Prime.
Nice!
Oh, nice!
So this, I now have 200% more coffee mugs than I had before, and this is awesome. So thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Kojacker. I appreciate that. I'm going to put this on the floor now before I drop it.
So Massey can knock it over.
Well, at least it's a shorter trip to the floor that way. This gets me thinking. We really ought to engineer the Headmaster Don travel coffee bowl.
The top part's for coffee, the bottom half is Band-Aids for Massey attacks. It's an all-in-one gift.
So I'm sitting here looking at our YouTube chat, and I have the camera at eye level, and it happens to be blocking where I type stuff into the screen. So I'm like, so I can't read. So I'm a little bit behind on the chat. So speaking of, if you join us live each week, Wednesday nights around 8:30 Eastern time, we do our weekly live stream. And last week, I for the first time in a while, I got it back up on Twitch. This week I have it back up on Twitch and Ustream. God, we were streaming on Ustream in like 2010.
Yeah.
Yeah, God. So it's good to know that it still works. The account's still active. So, yeah, okay. So let's see here what's going on else. Okay, so Oh, hey, we have this to talk about. This week in history. Okay. This week in history. April 24th, 2002. It was a good news and bad news situation when these two comic book events happened. Dreamwave Production releases the second printing, oh my god, of Transformers Generation 1 Volume 1.
And
Issue 1.
This took
As
everybody.
well as the second printing of the preview issue for that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and I remember it being in two different comic book stores, and people, I don't know, a few people I knew that collected. That this was like, it was like the second coming of Transformers, because a second printing of a Transformers book was like unheard of.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like, and I'll admit, I was on the hype train. I bought them. I was like, this is great. This is good. This artwork is great. This is the best it's been in a long time. And then I woke up.
That's about right.
And then a lot of us woke up, I guess.
Yeah, okay. So,
But the
also,
other thing that happened that day in history.
Generation 1, Volume 1. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Primal Scream. Oh, gosh, I forgot about that. Transformers Primal Scream hardcover is released in the U.S. by Titan Books. For whatever reason, I thought this stuff happened before that. But this, let's see, this was one of the hardcover trade paperbacks that came out. Primal Scream, that was the original Marvel run,
Yep.
not the UK stuff, which would have been, gosh, like in the 70s, or is it isn't it the series?
Actually, it was the build up and the start. It was the return of the classic Pretenders up to pretty much when Primus was awakened and Unicron learned of his continued existence.
That's
It's-
what, early mid 60s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
60.
It's the beginning of Simon Furman's run on the U.S. comic.
Yeah.
So that would have been
'Cause,
Jose Delbo time frame, right? I like Jose Delbo.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy.
Because I think Grimlock, Jazz, and Bumblebee and Starscream were Pretenders for 2 issues, and then you never saw their shells again.
That's
That's
funny.
because Thunderwing destroyed them during the Matrix quest.
No, they didn't use them. But after their first appearance or so, you didn't see them at all until Matrix Quest. Because I think Simon Furman had said at a BotCon, either he didn't like the Pretenders or he just didn't have time to keep drawing the shells and the characters and all that, so he just was using the classic.
What's the
looks.
matter with the Pretenders?
Can't they
Fight without...
Metal Hulk?
Metal Hawk. Okay, but so let's see here. April 26th, 2012, the first day of BotCon 2012 in Dallas, which is a very important BotCon for us because it was the last time we got to hang out with our pal, JD Church, in person. And that was a great trip. From top to bottom, that was a great trip. That was when Don was first on RFC as well. That
Yeah.
trip.
From
And-
John's old apartment.
From
John DeLuna's spacious dining room table.
Yeah?
Yeah, pretty. That was a huge event for us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. Yeah,
That whole Walmart smelled like fart.
it did smell like fart. God, that Walmart was awful.
But that was a pretty good box set that year. We got some pretty good characters, especially the kickoff that looks so great on that Jazz.
I don't
mold.
even remember what was in
Tread
that
shot.
set.
Tread
Oh,
shot.
yeah, Tread shot.
And then we got 2 Ducks Octopunch. The Shatterglass Junkions, which I thought was
based on Sea Spray, right?
Yeah.
And then we got the Shatterglass Junkions, which was kind of an interesting take on Insecticons. That was a very interesting thing to do on there.
I've got Shatterglass Tracks, aka Road Rage,
Right.
up here somewhere, but I don't see it to just grab it from off screen, unfortunately. But, two
I've
toys
got the
out of the set. good enough.
Junkions. I've got the Junkions, but they're out of reach.
Yeah. Okay, cool. But yeah, I will treasure that weekend for the rest of my life.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that was awesome. Okay, so the other segment that's returning this second week in a row is Bad Poets Corner. Like I mentioned, this was a segment from the year 2000. And this was something that, okay, funny enough, one of my favorite podcasts I listen to right now, and I'm not going to say what it is, but the guy doesn't know what he's doing. The guy that runs it has no idea. So he just does whatever comes to top of mind. That's just, he doesn't have like any
So you're talking
template.
about that one episode of Star Trek, right?
No. So, and that's a lot like what RFC was like back then. I didn't have a template to follow, so I was just coming up with ideas as they came to me. One of them was Bad Poets Corner, and I loved this. And it didn't last very long. So I think this is something that would be worthwhile, and it would be something that is just worth doing. And apparently I have to do this in my Happy Day in Wilkes voice.
I was going to say, remember to be in character.
Okay. So let's see here. In the produced podcast version, I will be playing the Masterpiece Theater theme as normal. So let's go ahead and start with Bad Poets Corner. More Prime than Prime. This is a poem that I wrote when I was still a teenager. Actually, no, I guess I weren't a teenager. I guess it was, I was 20 years old. It's called More Prime Than Prime. Rodimus Prime or Optimus Prime, which is the greatest of all time. One transforms and saves the day. He leads his troops and he does not stray. With the power of the Matrix, he will not fail. The other, well, he plays basketball. That didn't rhyme. I don't get it. The Transformers play basketball? They're too big to play basketball. And that was my Happy Day in Wilkes moment in the podcast. Thank you. For those who don't remember, Optimus Prime played basketball in that one episode, and it was that
one episode of the Transformers.
That one episode of the Transformers, and that mega SCF of Optimus Prime that came out did not include the basketball, and it's the worst
But
thing.
the concept art had the basketball finger.
I know.
That's why we're so mad about that to this day.
That was nearly 20 years ago, and I'm still pissed off about that.
What was that, 2001?
Thereabouts, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, some third party or, even Shapeways or whatever needs to go back and pick all these little pieces through the years of stuff that wasn't done, like, say, the basketball, a better head for Bonotech RC for me. Just little things throughout the years that was never done, and just make the fill-in gift set, which is just all this little stuff that was never done. So I like Bonotech RC. She just needs a better head.
So Rob just pointed out in my poem and should have said, kind of surprised the second to last line wasn't, he will not fall. Or fail. I can't really read. I'm blind. This is a 4K screen.
Fall.
It's far away from me. So, yeah. I wasn't that good of a writer. I just want to point that out.
You don't say.
Yes.
Well, the spirit was there.
Of course, it was intended to be ironic. So.
There you go.
Speaking of my Happy Day podcast, I did post a video to the Facebook page this week, which is facebook.com/happydayinwilkes, I think. I finally set up my green screen. It's worth a watch.
Oh, no.
Yep. It's pretty great. I'm going to liberally use that on that podcast. So, pretty happy. What else we got going on? Okay, so we're going to jump to the news. But we're trying to pull stuff from the past. From years ago, we did a topic each week.
The seeds of the future.
The seeds of the future lie buried in the past. And we often pull back from our history to sort of recapture some of the old magic, just like it was yesterday.
History will repeat itself
History
again.
repeats itself. So, but the topic, we're not going to do it at the end of the show this week. We're going to do it at the front because it's really tied to the news. And it's all around the Reveal Your Shield promotion. And Chris, you posted a really awesome article to TFormers. Why don't you start us off?
Well, the Reveal Your Shield event was the big launch promotion for the Transformers The Last Night toy line, which, as far back as Toy Fair during the Q&A interview period, they were saying, April 24th, you're going to be able to go to your stores and find not just the movie toys, but all the major brands will have new product on the shelves. So, we've all been patiently waiting the last 2 months for that to take place. On Monday. We've been patiently waiting, mostly for the, generation stuff that they've been holding out on us for the longest time. But, also some of the new movie stuff we've been looking forward to. Well, a bunch of us went out on Monday, bright and early, like we expected to, and went looking, and boy, there sure wasn't any movie stuff on the shelves on Monday, was there?
I found nothing.
There was a whole bunch of nothing.
Now, like, the online retailers, to their credit, they were right on time with that. They had stuff going up as early as midnight Eastern, the night before. You could order the stuff online if you wanted to right away. That part of it worked just fine. Even the generation stuff was there, ready to go. But no, if you want to walk into a store and actually pick something up and go home with it that same day, no, that wasn't happening.
No.
In most cases, there were exceptions. I don't want to say this is absolute across the board, but the majority of reports I actually saw come in were of, couldn't find any. There was not any of it stocked out, more than there was, this stuff's been sitting here for 2 weeks and they finally let me buy one.
Diecast was able to get his via somebody he knows who worked at the store.
Well, yeah. I went to the store and since I knew them, they were able to go in the back and search for it. And it's just a case where this store happened to have some of the deluxes, a box of deluxes, which apparently isn't the case for every store. I did a video and I went around all the stores on Monday, or a couple of the stores in my area, and at one Target they told me even the Hasbro rep was here asking if we had any product to put out, and they didn't get any product yet. So whether that's true or not, that's what I was told. So
here's the wrinkle in the story. So as it turns out, Monday morning at about 9:00 Eastern time, the Transformers official Instagram account made a new post. It was a close-up picture of Voyager Optimus Prime, and it was just basically highlighting, hey, it's merchandise launch day. You can order all these new products online right now or get them in stores on Friday.
I wonder why they picked Friday, though.
Because it's the last day of the week.
I've heard multiple things that on the box it says 4/24.
So let me say this. Hasbro cannot enforce that the retailers actually go and stock their shelves. It would be like me saying, Diecast, you've been a very bad boy. You need to go clean your room. And you can say, F you, Brian. You have no control over me whatsoever. And
but
that's
Brian,
exactly
you have
right.
another option. You can call Diecast's wife.
That's true. So, Hasbro can't make them do that. Hasbro can suggest it. And Hasbro can get agreement from the merchandiser at the company to do it. And the merchandiser at the company can send a task to the store for the store to do it. But guess what? That store probably has 2 to 3 days to do that task. If they
have inventory.
If they have inventory or capacity to do it.
Right. I remember doing it when I worked at a retailer. And I believe it was Star Wars Episode 2 toys were coming out. And they did the same thing. They made a big deal out of it. This is the release day. And you know what? We had the product on the shelf for the release day. Yeah, and I know it's a little bit bigger market than Transformers, but it's still... Transformers is still a pretty big market.
It is.
The thing is, though, they had the information to post on Instagram that Monday morning that in stores it would be Friday. They knew that ahead of time.
I think it was
that
CYA.
was how it was going to work.
I think it was CYA.
I think, and I could be wrong, that maybe they were seeing people saying how the stuff wasn't showing up in stores and that the shelves were empty, and they're like, maybe we'll give them a couple more days to get it put out.
They monitor social media.
Like if that had been posted at 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Monday, I could totally see that being the case. But that was first thing business hours that morning that went out. That was a pre-planned thing.
Maybe.
Probably before the weekend. Now, I heard one person say that Walmart had a new planogram going for the toy department, which was supposed to go into effect on Friday. So that might have been what they were basing that on, that Walmart's internal plan was they're going to reset their space, at least for the Transformers portion, to accommodate the new toys on Friday. So that might have been the basis of that.
So what can Hasbro learn from this? That if they're going to make a big deal like this, they really only need to coordinate with online retailers who actually, this is their bread and butter?
I think what they need to learn from this is that, like you said, they can't actually control what the stores do. and they need to kind of be a little bit more clear on that aspect of it. It'll be available this specific date from the online retailers, and it should be available within X amount of time from your local stores. Your local big box retailers should have it, that week or whatever.
I just feel
make it
like
more clear that it's not going to be across the board universal availability on that specific date, because it wasn't.
Well, I just feel like if they did a better job letting the retailers know, hey, we're going to be promoting that this stuff is going to be available on April 24th.
I think they probably do. Like, they do a great job letting us know. And they care way more about the retailers than they do us. No offense, Hasbro. We know that you love us. But
the other thing,
retailers don't care.
All the previous movie lines have had on-time, successful product launches. Like, the first 4 movies all had their toy lines come out in stores on date. This is the first time that it has not been coordinated to that degree. And I'm wondering if part of that is retailer fatigue on the whole movie thing.
Yes, retailer fatigue on the movie thing, movies in general, but Transformers specifically. Last night did not perform exceptionally well in the U.S.
Age of Extinction.
Pardon me, Age of Extinction. I'm predicting right now. Last night it's not going to perform well.
We're projecting.
But Age of Extinction didn't perform that well. Then Dark of the Moon performed way less than Revenge of the Fallen,
which performed way less than the first movie line, despite being 3 times as big.
Well, I'm talking about you're exactly right. The movie itself, ginormous.
Okay, yeah. I was thinking in terms of the toy line, but yes.
Yeah, so like retailers get caught up in things like that too. Well, they shouldn't. Retailers shouldn't get caught up in the hype. They should be caught up in the data, like the historicals of what their sales are. But,
and I talked about this before. Like the gangbuster sales of the first movie toy line really informed how big Revenge of the Fallen's toy line ended up being, and that backfired because there was 3 times more product than anybody actually wanted to buy.
Yep.
And that's why Dark of the Moon was way more restrained, and Age of Extinction was even more pulled back, especially in the collector-aimed line, than any of the ones previous. And we're looking at an even more restrained product line this time around.
Yeah. Don.
One other thing to bring up is that you've also got a couple things. One, I saw broadsides with the yellow sticker that said April 24th. But like you said, they released a tweet that morning saying it would be the end of the week. Someone somewhere changed a date, and it was not relayed down the pipe because the boxes are imprinted with the 24th. There's a yellow sticker with it on the 24th, and yet at some point the date was changed, and no, it was not relayed to anybody that happened.
That's why I think it's CYA.
Okay, so like the CYA option is certainly applicable. Maybe not in exactly the way you're thinking of it, though. Hasbro could have set that post up ahead of time, just knowing that the way store distribution and everything works, and maybe knowing that Walmart was not going to reset all of their stores to accommodate this until later in the week.
Yeah.
It's the same way they say this or that product will be available, summer 2017. Well, normally we get that in March. They're thinking, okay, by Friday, basically everybody's going to have this stuff on the shelves. They could have it as early as the launch date, but probably by the end of the week, everybody will have that out. And if they had just communicated that idea better earlier, instead of letting that be a surprise, basically, the morning of the product launch, like, there would not have been any particular reaction, I don't think. We would have been expecting this at, a week or 2 ahead of time, and it would have been like, okay, that makes sense, Yeah. There's also the thing of, we were talking about this in pre-show or pre-show, I forget. Some Toys R Us locations are saying, June 30th, the stuff's locked out until?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is I went to lunch early Monday to be able to go pick up a couple of things that I wanted, and I had Voyager Optimus Prime in hand, and they were saying it could not be sold until June. All the product was out. It was in a nice 4-foot section. Everything, they had the turbo changers, they had the battle mask version, they had the Voyagers, they had the deluxes, they had the mask, the helmet, and you couldn't buy any of it because it was all street dated for June.
And you should say it's on your shelf. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They went to pull it after I tried to ring up.
Did they know who you are?
My local Toys R Us knows
Absolutely.
who I am. I've been there once or twice.
I
He's
mean,
got
Perhaps
that
they've heard of
Don.
you.
Perhaps you've heard of him.
That's
that
awesome.
kind of does corroborate when I went into my one Toys R Us on the 24th, and they said, "Oh, that stuff's street dated. We can't sell it yet." But yet, the other Toys R Us I went to actually had some of the product on the floor, and they even had a Grimlock on the floor, which, I took over the scanner and it scanned at $29.99. So obviously there was a Prime there, but someone had already bought it.
Well, now
That's
I
just
can-
Prime.
yeah,
Wait,
well,
no,
I
it's
can-
not.
I can relate back to the very first movie launch in 07. That was the street date. Literally, I had to stand there, and they brought it had 12 feet, and 12 feet was completely empty except for the peg hooks and the tags. They actually brought all the movie product out on a float, and I'm like at a K&W. I'm going, I need this. And I'll be honest, I actually stocked a lot of the shelves for them because I knew what went where and I knew what the prices were. So I actually stocked. I said, just let me have some boxes. I know what I want to get, and then I'll stock it for y'all so that way y'all aren't doing it by yourself. So I got the ones I wanted, and then I just stocked the shelves. But I had to tell them, like, yeah, today is the launch date. You got 12 foot of empty space, and I want to give you money.
Did you scan their shelf tag with the LRT gun for them, Don?
No, I didn't need to. I knew what went where.
That's awesome. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump to the news. Okay, Soldier Story planning more statue lamps, starting with another Unicron and Rodimus Prime.
I can't afford the first one. I don't need more.
Well, these new ones look smaller.
So how many $800 lamps are you going to buy, Don?
No, these look smaller. They're probably a little cheaper. Probably only $700.
Okay, how many $650 lamps are you going to buy, Don?
I won't. Oh my God, the Unicron's in planet mode.
Does it transform?
No, this is a separate thing.
Okay.
No.
And this looks like it's kind of a prototype stage thing, because I swear to you, the stand that's on is made of parts of a Bandai Action Base model stand.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Both of those. Can you imagine oh my God, they're gorgeous. I love both of them. I mean, the Unicron, it still looks great. And then the planet mode one, it's like the only thing that would make that better if it was a black light.
I don't much want that Rodimus Prime because I don't like the look of Rodimus, but it does make me want a Goku doing a spirit bomb.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, same concept. No, I like the idea of that Rodimus statue lamp thing,
Opening
because
Matrix.
obviously the Matrix is going to be the light source, and that's going to look great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the visual styling of that Rodimus Prime is not the best. It looks kind of like if you took the DX9 Carry and kind of puffed it up a little bit.
Yeah, nobody wants that.
That you have no soul. Carries a wonderful toy.
But no, that Unicron plant mode, that is some killer work right there.
Yeah, that is. I mean, this company must have I haven't done any research on it, but they must have a lot of experience in doing this high end stuff because usually a lot of this high end stuff is a lot of metal, but it doesn't look all that great sometimes.
Yeah, I mean the high end statuary stuff, in my experience, it's either really under detailed like the Hard Hero stuff in the old days, or it's way over detailed where it is so busy and visually complex you just cannot even look at it.
Well, you know,
but like they're actually at a pretty good middle ground with these things.
Well, it's like we say, Unicron is made up of 20 million panels folding and sliding together. So he needs to have that surface detail, otherwise
it makes the scale.
Because if this looked like, and I like the Hard Hero statues for the most part, I didn't buy any.
They're so
I'm just not.
simplistic.
Well, but they also had a nice animation look to them as well, to a degree. But this looks incredible. But for the price, it's just not worth the dollars, despite how great it looks. And the Unicron's planet mode lamp is gorgeous.
Hey, two quick updates, real quick. Ryan in the chat said that he got that THF Soundwave KO, and he said the quality was crap.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, and somebody had posted a link to or a reference to the fact that the Dinobot set with the from SDCC 2014 is on Amazon at $80. That's a pretty good deal.
ooh.
TFradio.net/dino.
Pretty good.
TFradio.net.
Oh, we actually have a
/dino.
short link for that.
I already did it.
Let's just see tfradio.net/Don's Lamps.
Don's lamps. Yeah, that's nice. Okay,
We
we'll
we can put some lamps on your Massey attack list, Don. We'll pick you out something really nice.
Yeah. I won't. I'm sorry. I want this. I want this. I want both of them.
Okay, let's jump to the next item, which is Takara Tomy Legends Transformers Last Night and More and Figure King 231 scan. So I have not seen this item. Okay, so cup. That cup doesn't look like it's digitally manipulated, is it?
Okay, so the cup in the first image, if I'm remembering the order I put these in, that's the Hasbro cup with the new parts on. It's basically like test shot fitting together, showing what parts are new. So, the head's completely gray, the arms are not color matched correctly. This is just the Hasbro toys with the new parts on to demonstrate the changes.
You go.
But that's kind of the interesting thing about this, just to see, like you can see the how Hot Rod's hood chest part is all clear plastic, with the back face sculpting on it for the details, which make it look like the stained glass thing went in color. And you also get a good look at the target masters in this too.
Cool. Anything else of note?
No, everything else is pretty much just repeats of the stock photos we've seen already.
Bumblebee has a sword.
Yeah, that's one of the promotional campaign items going on right now. You can spend X amount of money on Transformers movie product and get that sword, I believe.
Hey.
Yeah, the sword is for spring, and they're going to have the shield in the fall, and his Optimus Prime's Dark of the Moon axe in, shield in summer, axe in fall.
Hey, I'm going to step away for just a minute. Can you cover the next item, Chris?
Sure. So the next thing up in the news is Takara Tomy Legends Black Convoy. We have official photos of the LGEX Robots in Disguise Scourge, which will be a Tokyo Toy Show exclusive, I believe.
Yes, it will.
Yeah, we called that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've gotten some rumors, and I think even a pre-order with no photos attached earlier in the year.
Yeah, we had some early leaks of this.
Well, if they did it as G2 Prime, you knew they were going to do it as Scourge.
Yeah. And it looks really nice.
It does look really nice, but I stand by what I said last week, and I don't need 3 instances of this mold. I'm just going to stick with my G2 Prime and Octane.
I mean, I have the original Scourge Black Convoy. I got the Hasbro version, which has the darker red clear plastics. I'm still very happy with that because it's got all the action gimmicks and stuff too. But if I wanted something, updated and that would go with a hypothetical Baldius that I would own one day, I'd probably still try to get the Tokyo Toy Show exclusive from a year or two ago, which was the Scourge made on the Generations Deluxe G2 Optimus Prime body, because that would scale better for my purposes. I do like how the vehicle mode looks on this one. The Stark Silver, especially in the jet mode, actually comes off really nice. It's pretty striking, but there's just something about the robot that's not quite clicking for me either. Let's see, what else do we have? Because I don't think Kilby's back yet.
I'm back, sorry. Head was killing me all of a sudden, so I had to go grab something to take.
Oh,
aneurysm?
No, not yet.
Oh, with all that caffeine, it's just a matter of time.
I'm trying to cut back on the caffeine and the diet soda too. So if we listen to this week's Get the Skinny, we can talk about that.
Anyway, we're ready to move on to the next item, which I've highlighted for you.
Thank you. The IDW's next Hasbro Universe event revealed. First Strike.
Yes, because it's already time for another crossover event.
Why?
Boo.
Why?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm not complaining because
I am. No more crossover event.
The reason it's another crossover event is because it's comics, and that's what comics do.
And everyone hates them.
Yeah, there's a really good article going around today about how much good that's done Marvel.
God, I don't even read
Well,
Marvel
Marvel's
anymore.
made some other bad choices lately that might also be to blame.
Oh, tons of them, and not even just the obvious ones.
Yeah.
$4 an issue, but that's neither here nor there.
I really like this cover. I just want to point that out. I really like. the cover.
Oh yeah, that art is really nice.
It's really good. So
go
ahead.
And the most important thing to me about this is that Scarlet figures heavily into this one too, just like she did Revolution. But Margaret Scott is co-writing this, so there's a very good chance that Scarlet will not be a titanic sack of stupid in this.
Yeah, I'm interested to read at least the self-titled issues for this because Margaret Scott is co-writing it, and she gets a really good, deep grip into the characters she writes. She has made one of the most interesting Starscreams in years. Yeah. Just for starters. So I'm interested on that level. The story hook too, where basically it's Cobra declaring war on Cybertronians. That's not an unappealing concept either, fictionally. It's pretty soon after Revolution for another crossover event, and there's always the worry of how it's going to disrupt the stuff that's already in play.
Yeah.
Well, just reading the synopsis here, with it being Baron Ironblood, they're pulling in the Red Shadows too.
Yeah, I believe they've been showing up in either G.I. Joe or Action Man recently.
Wait, there's an Action Man comic?
Yeah?
I didn't know that. That shows you how much I'm paying attention, so... I'm just so behind on all my comics. The only thing I'm up on is Action Comics and Superman, which I'm probably going to stop reading soon, so...
Also, the title Revolutionaries, which was basically build a team out of all these properties we've made a universe of, is apparently ending just before this crossover event.
Cool.
To be followed by First Strikers afterward?
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it gets reorganized into something else after the crossover event. But yeah, I mean, that's ending. I think the Mask title is being ended too, or reorganized. There's a lot of shuffling going on, so perhaps we will have a tighter Hasbro IDW Universe product after this next crossover.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so let's move to the movie block, which is, if you don't like the movies, you can block this out.
Oh, good. Thank you.
It's snap time.
So we have more details on the last night Valvoline Valvetron promo. So basically, is the site up yet?
Yes, the site is up. I just checked it.
Okay. So if you buy 5 liters, is it 5 liters or more, you can actually just get it for quarts. Yeah, sorry. Liter is the way the engine. Yeah, quarts. I haven't changed my own oil in years.
Me either.
I miss changing my oil, but it's just so convenient not doing it.
I still don't think he transforms.
There's no reason for him to have that crap on his arms if he doesn't.
Style.
Yeah, style.
Yeah.
Eventually someone will have one of these in hand and we can actually have this question answered once and for all. But first you have to buy 5 quarts of Valvoline synthetic oil.
I'll bite the bullet. I'll go buy synthetic oil. I have a car that takes it anyway, so...
Well, just look on Taobao. You can probably find these soon enough.
So is it you buy 5 quarts of synthetic oil and you get this for free, or you can get an oil change and be in a drawing to win it? Is that how it works?
Apparently, it's both.
So if I get an oil change, do I get this for free, or am I in a drawing?
Well, you know about as much as I do at this point. It's unclear if the initial thing was communicated badly. And, you can get an oil change, and you can then, get the thing, if you just buy the 5 quarts of oil to do your own oil change, it's really not clear. This promo material came from an AutoZone, so, it's not like they will do your oil change for you, so this might just be for other Valvoline retailers to get in on this
so
action.
My car takes about 4 quarts, so...
You'll have a spare.
I'll have a spare. Yeah.
Well, and a quart of synthetic is not cheap.
Yeah, it'd be
No,
about
it's about $10.
Oh, that's less than I thought. Okay, that's not bad.
Well, okay, at least $10 then.
I mean, like,
No, it's not going to be cheap to buy into this.
yeah, I need an oil change anyway. I can change my own oil. I need to get jack stands and everything. So crap.
Yeah,
There's
but
so
you
much
don't
double
put
entendre in this
synthetic
conversation
in your car,
too.
do you?
What?
You don't put synthetic in your car,
I
do you?
can.
Not recommended.
It's not recommended to do it, but I put synthetic in the old car.
Yeah, and how long did that last you?
Well, I tore the transmission out of it. It had nothing to do with the oil. Like the synthetic, if I get I can probably go 10,000 miles between oil changes if I go synthetic or more.
I go at least that many between oil changes anyway.
Unconventional oil.
Not that anyone should do this. Disclaimer. You could also go to Walmart, buy 5 quarts,
Oh, you're saying return it.
and then return them, and then you don't have to do an oil change, and then you can get the toy.
Actually, you might have to send in the UPC codes as proof of
Oh
purchase.
no, it says
It's upload your receipt.
Oh God,
okay.
That's shady. I'm not going to do it.
Besides, everybody should learn to change their own oil at least once. It's a good skill to have.
Michael in the chat said 5-liter Pepsi Miracle Whip Valvoline. Oh God, that's gross. Okay.
I mean, it's basically all the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Miracle
can
Whip.
you-
Synthetic oil.
Amazon's not on here. I was gonna say maybe we could just put a link to it, but Amazon's not a choice of where did you purchase.
Okay. So I just gotta say I went to Amazon, but then passing the drug test made more sense to me. No,
And John agreed, so there must be something to it.
Let's see here. So we have Transformers Last Night, Soap Studio. What the hell do you say this? It's the Soldier Story, Soap Studio Cross Soldier Story, Remote Control Optimus Prime statue.
Oh, it's the lamp people again.
Yeah. So what in the hell is this thing? There's
A remote
audio.
control statue?
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
audio.
so they have a demonstration.
It's
Someone's
actually
got a remote, like a car remote control, and they're flipping one of the switches, and it's opening and closing the shield.
it looks cool, honestly.
And okay, that's neat, but that sure justifies like a remote control and probably the extra $150 it costs to implement this feature.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering if the final version will just have like a switch somewhere that you flip, or if you're going to have to actually have the remote control box.
For how much?
Maybe there'll be an app for your phone or something.
That's the dumbest thing.
Hey.
For how
I'm
much-
sorry.
for how
That's stupid.
For how much this thing is going to cost? I want it to walk my dog.
Seriously.
It's
Or you're-
possible it will have other like motion functions too, and the shield was the only thing they had ready to demonstrate at this event.
No, do we have an MSRP on this yet?
No,
It's gonna be a
not
lot.
that I've seen. Yeah, it's going to be a lot.
It's neat looking.
So dumb. No, it's dumb.
Hey, just a question for everybody, for y'all and for the viewers. Does Optimus Prime's faceplate make him look like kind of like a bird?
Yeah, I can see that.
So it's not just me then. Okay, it's just.
I mean, I don't know if I would have arrived at that independently, but yes, when you say that, I can definitely see where you're getting that from.
So next item is about Last Night Hot Rod. Can we talk about this without spoilers for the movie?
I mean, the only important thing in here is that the public reveal of Hot Rod's second vehicle mode. Which, I mean, I've known about since August, but now I can actually finally say I know about it.
Is it a Winnebago?
Did you get to drive it?
No, it's a 1960s Citroen, which is another European car. But it's really cool looking.
So what else can't
Plus,
you
I
tell
like,
us?
getting... What?
What else can't you tell us?
No comment.
I love how
Yeah, that-
relatable movie vehicles are. That's my favorite part of them.
Yeah, but at the same time, I like getting, like, weird, obscure vehicle modes, like, that aren't, traditional sports car things.
Like, if Ironhide comes back and is a 2012 Hyundai Elantra, call me.
But yeah, him being a Citroen makes sense because that's a French car. We've been hearing he's going to have a French accent, so
Oui. Okay. Apologies to our
That's
French
exactly
listeners.
right, Brian.
Apologies to. I
Yeah,
know.
so, I mean-
I see the metrics. I know we have you out there. I apologize. I'm a stupid
Michael Bay
American.
won't.
Yo, stupid American.
Diecast 2.
Yeah.
On Twitter.
I'm not going to say anything about spoilers because if you don't want to follow link, you don't have to. I'm just going to say one word about reading about some of this stuff. Power Master. That's all I'm going to say.
okay,
That's all I'm going to say.
all right.
Okay, so we have Transformers Last Night packaging asset samples leaked. So what is this packaging to?
Well, the one looks like it could be a 2-pack of Bumblebee and Hot Rod, which is kind of notable since we have not seen a Hot Rod toy revealed yet. Maybe that's part of the Reveal Your Shield week this week.
They
Just did the first official reveal of Barricade today.
Oh God.
Yeah.
We didn't see Barricade at Toy Fair.
Apparently not. I wasn't really paying attention to Wave 1 stuff because we'd seen it leaked before.
Yeah.
But no, so the one thing could be a Bumblebee Hot Rod 2-pack of some sort. The other one looks like it might be a side panel to we had another piece similar to the other art asset, which remember that Toys R Us Cybertron Planet thing for $150 a few months ago, the Toys R Us inventory dump.
Yeah.
It looked like it could potentially be part of the packaging for that, designed to be die cut, so there's like an open tray or something. So this could be a side panel to that because it matches. And you can kind of see how these are laid out. They've got the placeholder text and everything just to kind of show where everything's going to fit on there. It looks like the side of a box.
Well, has anyone translated? Because
That's Latin. That's just junk.
That's like
That's
placeholder.
boilerplate.
That's filler.
That's boilerplate placeholder text. Lorem.
Okay.
Yeah, that's standard for when you need to fill space in printing and you don't have any actual copy to put there yet.
I've never
higher end
seen-
word processors all have generators for that.
I have never seen that done before. Because I didn't realize what the language was. To your right, it's Latin. It's like
I
my
guess
mom
it's
could speak
Latin. I've always thought it was Latin. So
It looks like Latin.
yeah.
my mom actually learned Latin in school, and she remembered some of the language, but I don't know.
It's all Latin to you.
Yeah, it's all
It's all
Latin.
Greek
to
to
Don.
It's
me.
all
yeah.
Greek to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see here. So we have at tformers.com, if you go to TFormers, obviously, photos and a demo video of Voyager Megatron in hand. He looks
Be sure
great.
to mute that video if you watch it.
I already skipped
trust
past
me,
it, yeah.
that video,
Is that Wave 2? How did someone get that already?
Singapore, possibly.
Vietnam?
So it doesn't look as good as the leader class, but it still looks pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's still a cool design.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold out for that leader class.
And speaking of that's one thing I do have a complaint about. That there was a movie launch and we have no leader class figures yet. Like
Yeah,
that should be.
I
That should
assume
be-
they want to have the movie out before they actually have the highest price point in stores.
I just don't see a reason to not have a Wave 1 leader class on the release day. You should have Wave 1 Deluxe, Wave 1 Voyagers, and Wave 1 Leaders.
The other
That
advantage, though, one of the Wave 1 leaders is Optimus Prime. And as far as I understand, that is a retool, possibly, of the Age of Extinction leader. So having that staggered from the Wave 1 Voyagers stops there being competing price points of Optimus on the shelf.
But there will be of Megatron.
If Wave 2 Voyager
Possibly.
comes out at the same time as Wave 1 leader, which we still don't know is going to be the case.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So we have in-hand photos of the Last Night Tiny Turbo Changers, Soundwave and Blackout. I'm excited for these things.
I wanted to get one today. They didn't have any.
Yeah. These are
Damn it, Reveal Your Shield.
and these are blind bagged, so you have no idea what you're getting.
Well, they're blind bagged,
Check
but
back on Friday.
they're blind. They're blind bagged, but they apparently have a little window on the back of it, so you can actually see the figure inside.
We love you, Hasbro.
So you can kind there's ways to figure out what you're getting.
I missed the code.
Apparently they said at Toy Fair, or I think it was at Toy Fair, that they can't do the codes printed on the bags anymore because somehow that contravenes gambling laws in some states.
That's
which makes
hilarious.
zero sense to me, but
that's ridiculous, but it's great.
That's amazing.
I would think the opposite would be true. Having them without a code or something on there where you can figure out what you're getting would be a gambling problem.
You can't fix it though. Like if you have the code on the back, you can know what it is.
Oh, and if it's misbagged.
No. If you have, you can bet somebody, I know what this is, and it's fixed because you know what it's going to be. So it's an unfair game in that respect. That's crazy. Okay, let's see here. Hey, Amazon, we love you so much.
They've done something though.
Yes. Thank you very much, people out there who use our Amazon links, how we pay for the show. And after, go to tfradio.net/LioKaiser, and you can pick up Generations Combiner Wars LioKaiser, who's back in stock in less than $100, $98.02. Great toy. Unfortunately, we're probably not going to get a Takara version anytime soon. So if you want this, that's the way to get it. tfradio.net/LioKaiser, lowercase L. Another thing that popped up today, and thanks everybody, Sam, in the chat for mentioning this, go to tfradio.net/dino, tfradio.net/dino, and you can get the 2014 SDCC exclusive Dinobot set with the ARC cardboard box thing, diecast. You have that, right?
Yes.
You can get it for $79.95. That's like half of what it cost originally, isn't it?
Yeah, and all these molds look better than their current release versions.
Yeah, exactly. So tfradio.net/dino, lowercase d, tfradio.net/dino. And you can get anything you want to. If you need to get synthetic urine, go to tfradio.net/Amazon, and you can get whatever you need. I just ordered today some dog treats. Max was out of his begging strips, or close to being out. So instead of Max going without, I ordered him some like yesterday and got it today.
Do you have a dash button for it?
I do not.
Oh.
I have a dash button. I got one because Diecast did, and I don't use it. I got it for Diet Coke. One, I'm going to try to stop drinking diet soda. Two, like I can go get a 6-pack of Diet Coke cheap. It was like $30 or something on Amazon, something ridiculous. Not everything is worth purchasing at Amazon, I would say, but you can get most things you need, like toilet paper, toothpaste. You can get all that stuff.
And of course, you can go to tfradio.net/Prime and sign up for Amazon Prime.
And yeah, it's a free trial.
If you do that, you can buy all kinds of heavy stuff and make your mailman hate you, and it won't cost you any more money.
Speaking of, there's a 100-pound dumbbell that I need to pick up, and it's...
I think Diecast weighs more than that, Brian.
Oh gosh.
Okay, Brian. That you didn't mean it, but 100-pound dumbbell you have to pick up.
Well, I can pick up a 100-pound dumbbell, no problem. I have to get it delivered via Amazon. Because my local Dick's Sporting Goods does not have dumbbells that are that heavy, and I have a 100-pound dumbbell that needs a partner, and so I can shipping on that.
Is she pretty?
Yeah, shipping on that would cost more than the item costs itself, but Amazon will ship it free via Prime, and it's awesome. I love it.
Plus, there's that whole Amazon Prime video library too,
and music, pretty great. Pretty great. Again, thank you for everybody out there who's using that link. And if you're not, use it. Tell your friends. If you have parents who are old and they need a bookmark to Amazon, just go to tfradio.net/Amazon, bookmark it for them. And it's all great. Okay, so third-party news. Fans Hobby Gunfighter 2.
Yeah.
Unofficial Laser Optimus Masterpiece alike. That is hard to say. New test shot gallery. Why do I need this in my life?
I guess in my head I was saying it's MP alike too.
Oh.
So that's a little bit easier.
It has a matrix. It's upside. Is that an upside down matrix?
Maybe they just inserted it backwards,
It looks like the sculpt. You have to insert it that way, but it kind of looks upside down to me.
Obviously, this is genuine or an homage to the original toy, but the one that came in the Chaos and Velocitron set's good enough. Plus, Toy Hacks is doing an awesome, kit of that, and will look even better. So, and I already have it. I don't know, for some reason, like, there's certain toys I really would like to have a masterpiece of. I'm going to get an official masterpiece of anything that comes out. But there's certain toys that I don't need a masterpiece of, and for whatever reason, Laser Prime really feels like one that I don't need. And you're right, it's upside down.
But, I've watched a couple of reviews on the Scourge / Black Convoy, and apparently... Arch Enemy. And for this company's first, I believe, product, apparently it's done very well.
It looks good.
It was really well received, and they've actually made some upgrades to this version of it.
I did review it.
Don't you have a review of that?
Yeah, I was going to say I did review it. You can check it out at on YouTube at RFC Reviews. Mine sample was okay. I did see a lot of people when they received theirs that their arm snapped off.
Oh,
wow.
So the person who received it after you, though, didn't they receive like a Beast Wars Retracts instead somehow? No comment. No comment. Okay, so and Perfect Effects PEDX08 Origin Leonitus updated not Lao Convoy figure. I'll be honest with you, I almost considered it because it was like I had a thought a couple weeks back. I'm like, man, I kind of wish I hadn't missed out on that Leonitus figure. Then this popped up, and I'm like, maybe not. It looks good.
This one is apparently retooled with a new chest.
Yep, new head.
And it's got some different weapons, and the deco is a little bit different.
I think
next season on Gundam Build Fighters.
I do not have a problem with this at all. It's just...
It has a new hat.
Yeah. It has a new hat. Malibu Stacy. That's a joke.
Oh, yeah.
I think it looks really pretty. I don't need it.
Yeah.
I don't need it either.
I don't know the Gundam Build Fighters thing, but I'm looking at it in Dino mode, and it looks like a Zord to me. Or Zoid, not Zord.
Lion, not Dino.
Yeah, I mean, for the record, I am happy to see any third-party company get beyond G1. Yeah. It's nice that this exists. It's just not quite what I'd be looking for in a Lio Convoy if I was in the market for such a thing.
It's not.
Yeah, I was looking for the Robot Masters myself.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a Beast Machines Lio Convoy.
I can see that. I can see that.
But this has color, so that's better.
Yeah.
The other problem, too, is that Perfect Effects stuff is basically universally overpriced compared to equivalents from other manufacturers. So that's also like a stumbling block for some of this stuff.
Yeah. Rob, what's on TFormers this week?
Okay, this week, Jack has given us a look at his Transformers Junior collection, which is... He's got quite a lot of that, and it's kind of fascinating.
Jack's got a pretty awesome collection. I'm glad he is starting to show some of the interesting stuff he has, because it's kind of a shame to just let it sit there in obscurity.
I agree, and I'd heard about these before. I'd seen pictures of some of it here and there, but he's got quite a good selection of this, and there is a gallery up on the site with 47 photos of everything from Optimus Prime up through Starsaber. And
I didn't even know they did a Junior Starsaber. Wow.
Neither did I. Yeah, he says it's not quite complete, but it's there.
And this is from Jack's collection, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Jack has an awesome collection.
He does. And also, Optimus Prime number 6 is out this week, and I reviewed that, and I quite enjoyed it. It's a pretty good issue, and
thanks again for covering me.
No problem. And the review is up on TFormers, and probably some of the best probably the best review I have ever written, in an hour.
Cool.
Well, sometimes things just click, and then you get your best work ever that you couldn't replicate in days if you had to.
Don, what's on the network this week?
Oh, well, we have a lot.
Take a deep breath, Don.
Take a deep breath. Yes, we have a lot. Superhero Time presents that one episode of Star Trek, Stigma. They wrap up their look at socially regressive Star Trek with an episode of Enterprise.
Enterprise is great.
God.
No, it's really not. As I'm rewatching more and more of it, I'm coming to the realization, boy, that is just not a good show.
Scott Bakula can't save everything. Responding to a network mandate to contribute to an AIDS awareness campaign.
Blame Viacom.
The producers seem to freely admit they dropped the ball on that, and boy, oh boy, are they not wrong. Meanwhile, in the B plot, Trip just doesn't get polyamory.
Polyamory, yes.
Okay, at all. Get the skinny. 55.
Don doesn't either.
Huh?
Nothing.
Okay. Get the skinny 55. Fat on good feels and afraid of diet soda. Get the skinny podcast community. Let's get tracking. Take 4 wrestling number 29. What makes you? I thought that said poop. It says pop.
No, that's the wrong podcast there, Don.
Pop. Introducing new co-host Tom McLean on Take 4 Wrestling. They're joined by pro wrestler diehard Tom McLean. They discuss things that make us pop. Also on the show, we remember WWE superstar Rosie. Tom talks about attending the past week's Monday Night Raw, ring psychology, and this week's gimmick of the week is Shark Boy.
Yes.
I'm going to guess you know what that means. And here it is. You've all been waiting for it. Being awesome number 100. Grass clippings don't taste so bad. That's what he's got, folks. This week in Awesome, Rob and his wife play Bean Boozled. It hurts to breathe. Also, questions and Awesome on name changes.
So I changed the name of the episode Rob had Grass Doesn't Taste So Bad, and I'm like, let's change it to Grass Clippings. I want to make sure people get what you're talking about. That was a flavor.
And how was your weekend? Episode 1 of new series C10 Case Fresh collector's item, Overcoming Fears. On the first episode of How Was Your Weekend, Wendy and Brian introduce themselves, discuss the origin of How Was Your Weekend, and talk about overcoming fears. Brian shares a lifelong fear he just overcame, and Wendy discusses some of the fears she has faced since childhood. Some pretty deep stuff there.
Yes.
And we have our RFC reviews, and I will toss that on over to Diecast.
Oh, but you're doing such a good job.
I thought you wanted to do it.
No, you do it.
On RFC Reviews, Diecast hunts for movie toys on Monday, and Diecast doesn't find it. He reviews the less class movie Decepticon Berserker,
awesome.
who I thought was Crankcase, but apparently isn't.
We had a very busy week on the network this week, and we should have an equally busy week this week. So we've sort of slacked off a little bit on the offerings in the last few months with just all the crazy stuff going on. I am taking in way more caffeine, and we are plugging away, doing way more. Make sure that you go in and follow and subscribe to all these shows because you need to, basically. Simple as that.
And remember, if you're interested, you can find this episode at www.tfradio.net/516. To view the show notes, don't forget the voicemail. You can also use it to send us text. 931-99-GOBOT. That's 931-994-6268.
Hey, Don, you know how people will be able to use that number? To call us.
Somebody? Yes.
To call us, because we need to do... Can you do that test this weekend for the new podcast that we were talking about doing?
As long as it's after, say, 4 o'clock by the time I get home and get settled.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Just shoot me a text and we will test this out. What we'll probably end up doing, and this may be a terrible idea, but are you thinking Saturday or Sunday?
Well, how long do you think the test will take? Because Saturday is...
Let's do 30. Can we do 30 minutes?
Yeah, that should be fine.
What I want to do, Saturday, so we're recording this on April 26th, so we are talking about Saturday, April 29th. I am going to tweet out and let people know that we are testing out this podcast. I will tweet out our phone number, and people can actually call the number, and we can talk to them.
All right.
And we'll see how that goes. So, Eric, I'm looking at you. So,
did we ever decide on a name? Because we were batting around some names. Did we ever decide?
Well, yeah,
just change the name every week.
Yes, true. We had a good one though. I thought we had a really good one. I need to go through my email. It was a nice pun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don's trading post, I guess. I'm not sure.
Something like that. It was really good.
Having pun with Don?
Punning, having something
Punning
like that.
Around with Don?
Something like that.
That was one of our segments we never really followed up on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Don,
No.
you need to do that next week.
Okay. Okay. Well, actually, I'll think. I'll think about what basically is what grinds my gears, and I'll think about something. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Again, as Brian said, we are on Roku under the special interest tabs. Chris, where can we find you at?
Home.
Home. Okay,
On the range.
On the range, where the deer and the antelope play.
But seldom is heard a discouraging word.
Yes,
Except on release
And the
date
skies are
Mondays.
not cloudy all day.
it's true.
How about you, Matt? Since I think Brian drug you quick kicking and streaming to Twitter, so you're there now.
Sure am.
I love following Matt on Twitter. Even more, nearly as much as when I was doing his Twitter for him.
You like following Matt almost as much as when you were tweeting in his name.
Yes.
Oh,
That pretty much sums up my Twitter account. Yeah.
yeah, it does. Rob, how about you, Rob?
At MELLVARR.
You forgot Nell.
I thought I did 3 L's. 3 L's, 2 R's.
Yeah.
He's a great follow.
Yes. I am on Twitter at Figure Reviewers. I am on YouTube at Flailthroughs. And, of course, XV and my video reviews can be seen on YouTube at TFormers TV.
All right, and our Taobao specialist, Diecast. Where can we find you?
I'm on
In the
Taobao a lot. I'm also on YouTube at RFC Reviews. You can check out the Berserker review because I really like that toy. I don't know if I've told you already on this podcast, but I really like that toy. And then you can also follow me on Twitter at Diecast2 and on Facebook at Reviews by Diecast. And I probably by tomorrow I'll put up one of my interesting finds on Taobao.
And, of course, the ever-popular, ever-awesome Mr. John DeLuna.
Twitter, that John D.
I give you that kind of build-up, and that's all you give me is that? Is just,
Hey!
That's what he gives us every
Hey.
week.
Have you
Alright.
followed me on Twitter? It's spectacular. It's an experience.
What about
Oh,
at
but
New
you should be
Soundwave?
following. You should be following John on Twitter because I understand the next round of subscription figures is going to be shipping in the near futures, and
Yep.
he usually gets them first.
Yeah,
Good photo coverage.
I was
Good.
billed like 2 weeks ago for those.
Yeah,
Something
good.
like that.
Let's see.
Good.
Okay, that'd be great.
Let's see. Looking at John's Twitter right now, you haven't tweeted in like over a week.
What? There's no way that's right. Are you looking at? I've
at-
retweeted my butt off here. In fact, I just retweeted
Hey, okay.
Jasmine Hayden's attempt to convert her
Oh,
Jeep into a barricade.
That was on
Very
April.
nice.
That was on April 16th. I thought that's when you tweeted it. That was when the person
No, that's when
posted
she
it.
tweeted it.
Oh, Neo
Yes.
Geo stuff. Ooh, there's
Yes,
yeah.
and then there's an upcoming book on the history of the Neo Geo.
Oh, nice.
Which has my
nice.
my video game pants are going wild for a Neo Geo book. That is for sure.
Okay. All right. And hey, John, do you think we might get a new Soundwave on the cancellation of the NES Classic?
You know, my signal's breaking up. I think I see a tunnel coming up. I'm gonna have to.
I sold mine on Amazon for like $300.
Oh gosh.
Hey Brian, is yours still unopened?
No, it's Kim loves it. She's playing a lot of Super Mario Brothers and Mario Doctor Mario Doctor.
You should just put it back in the box and sell it.
I
Yeah,
could.
I'll never know.
About lots.
And then Kim will kill him.
Yeah. No, I think she actually said, "Would you just want to sell this?" I'm like, "Nah, let's keep it."
And then
Did you tell her
make
you
it-
could like easily set up an emulation box with all the same games on it?
I've got a Raspberry Pi sitting right beside of it.
Exactly.
Does Shapeways have like designs for just a NES box?
I can print it out myself. Yes.
All right, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean it would be really expensive to do that through Shapeways,
And Amazon
just because of the volume it would have to be.
and tfradio.net/Amazon has them for like $20.
Couldn't you also just buy an NES and then hollow it out?
Oh yeah,
I would.
It's
That's
been
pain
done.
in-
you
it's
could
pain in
you
the
could
butt.
probably. I don't know how big a Raspberry Pi is. You could probably almost
Tiny.
get one inside an NES cartridge.
Easily. Yeah.
It's been done.
You could do a Pi Zero inside of an NES cartridge. An actual Raspberry Pi is a little thick.
See, that's what I would do. Like, clip out the thin part of the cartridge, and have the USB port for the controller out there.
So there are
bury the whole thing in a non-functional NES.
There are bajillion how-tos on that, and then there are aftermarket NES cartridges that are made specifically for that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
And last but not least, I can be found on Twitter at HMRC for EVR, and Massey can be found everywhere Attack Kitty Cats are found.
And
Isn't
last but least, I can be found on Twitter at bkilby, and on Instagram at Brian Kilby. And I am, and I said, like, for the last 5 years, I'm trying to tweet more. I'm tweeting a lot now. I use Twitter a lot, so you should follow me. I'm a worthy follow.
They're all here for you. They're not here for me. They're here for you.
And I'm eight follows away from 1,500, so somebody can get me.
Attack. So what Twitter handle should Massey have?
At Destroyer.
Okay, well, let's try to get Massey up to 1,000 followers.
He will have more people than me. See, they're all here.
Just be pictures of like really grim pictures of Massey attacking Don.
So,
he's not happy.
So,
there we go.
Oh my God!
There's good job. First pictures coming up.
There went Don's new Doctor Who mug. Yeah.
There
goes my mugs.
There goes my Grand Max.
Yeah. Grand Max is under a sheet in his bedroom. So.
Yeah,
hey Don, maybe next time you should aim Massey at Kronos.
Don't subject Massey to that.
Yeah.
Leave my Kronos out of this. You okay, man?
I just picture Massey busting through Kronos like the Kool-Aid Man through a wall.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I guess that's it for this week. If you guys probably should subscribe if you're not subscribing. If you are not watching us live each week, it's definitely worth doing. And we love our chat. And I do try to comment and respond to the chat throughout the week, throughout the night, but sometimes I forget.
Throughout the week.
Yeah, I go back like on Thursday and Friday and nothing's there.
Oh, it's sad.
Really
it's like
easy to follow then.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll be back next week. Thank you guys for being here. We love you. What other podcast loves you? None. That's why you should stay with us.
What other podcast has a restraining order on you? None.
Exactly. We'll see you later. Bye.
All right. What did you do to Massey, Don?
I was trying to set him down on his little
Is he okay?
stool. Yeah, I think he's okay. I was trying to set him down because I've got a little tote with a lid at the window that he can stand on. But he twisted out of my arms and his butt hit the tote instead of on top of the tote.
Yeah, there he goes. He's walking away.
I want to say this. Here's the difference between it's a couple years old, but a Core i7 and a laptop Core i5. I have 1, 2, 3 streams going on the desktop and a recording, plus a recording and audio, and I only have 1 stream going on the laptop. My CPU utilization on the desktop is 28%, and it's 45% on the laptop. Yeah.
The I numbers on those are basically meaningless anyway.
It's marketing.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, also, like, Core i7 is a branding. It's like Pentium. It's a branding.
Yeah.
So, like,
No.
I am recording this, right? I am.
Yes.
Back for more.
Yes.
Calm down.
It's all right.
Hey, Don, put Massey in frame. I'm joking.
Yeah.
Pick him
Massey
up.
says it's best of 3 rounds. You got round 1. He's coming back for 2 and 3.
To see, he's mad because I'm getting the hard bumps against my legs now.
He's
like
taking
it was just sort of
the hard bumps. It's not do a flat back bump, Don. That's the best way to take it.
Yeah. No high spots. That's Massey's
Massey's
rule.
chest bumping Don.
Massey's like, this is a house show. The camera's off. I don't do spots.
Hey, actually, speaking of that, I was talking to JT Hogg. He's going to TFCon. Diecast, are you going to TFCon?
Yep.
Revenge.
JT's going to be rooming with me.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'll be at TFCon, it looks like. I mentioned before, Kim was like, I'm tired of going to conventions. Like, okay, we'll take a year off for 2 years. I'll just stop going. I don't care. Then she's like, you want to go to TFCon? And I'm like,
She just likes getting away, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody wins.
Well, see, for me and Brian, it's like 5 hours away from me and 7 hours away for Brian, and we usually don't get that lucky. Because here in the South, there's just not that many. There's a lot of nice smaller cons.
I'm 20 minutes away from where TFCon Charlotte was now. It's a shame that I doubt that'll ever happen again.
Because I really hope he brings it back to Charlotte, because that was just a really.
I actually really like that hotel.
I love that venue.
Nice.
I've been to a bajillion conventions in my life, and that's by no means the biggest or the nicest, but I think it was my favorite venue.
And the 2 drinks a night was great.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
And I think we've all said this, but the BotCon Houston, BotCon Dallas, though.
Dallas.
What, 2012?
No, 2020. No,
2005.
2005.
They're both Dallas.
Yeah, that was just such an awesome hotel.
The thing about the hotel, it was new and nobody was there. It was in the middle. It was in the middle of a TBD strip mall, basically.
Yeah. Well, the only thing I hate is when you have the convention. I know they're trying to they're trying to fill rooms and not lose money. I understand that, but when you have the convention rate and you don't get any of the amenities, that kind of just sort of sucks.
Well, that's why it's convention rate and not the full rate.
Yeah. Okay, you can't have your cake and eat it too. I know.
This is true, unless it's well, no, never mind.
A delicious Pepperidge Farm coconut cream cake.
You can have your cake and you can eat it. You just don't get any forks or paper plates.
That's BotCon 96.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think there's also dry pretzels then.
So
and no water, because there was no cups.
So on Facebook group that I am on from our friend or Ouija friends, there was like just a flood of BotCon photos from back in the day. Just a solid reminder that we're old. Just like I'm like, oh hey, who's that? He looks like a young version of. Oh wait, no, that is just. That's like that looks like a young Robo Wang. Oh wait, it is Robo Wang. He was just young. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Any post show stuff that we want to do, or we want to win a little longer? I think the show is probably going to start running a little longer. We can have a shorter post show or whatever. I probably should get post ready on the stuff. Hey, people watching live, we love you. We seriously do. As we're changing the show around, please, as our most dedicated fans, shoot me a note on Facebook or on Twitter or whatever on what you like, what you don't, what you'd like to see, anything that we've done in the past that you want to see come back. I think this is every year or two I kind of get in the mood to mix things up, and I think we're long due. So would really appreciate any feedback or any thoughts that you have. Most of you, or a lot of you, are connected with me personally on Twitter or our Twitter account. Just shoot me a message.
Or call the number.
Or yeah, you could literally call the number, 931-99-GO-BOT, and leave a voicemail, that too. Mm-hmm. We'll see you next week.
We might even use it on the show.
That's actually, yeah, we definitely would. We'll see you later. Okay. Bye. Goodbye, Ustream. I into that stream first. Now to Twitch. Goodbye, Twitch. And finally, YouTube. Our heart is with you most. We'll see you later.